Right, my name's Ben. I'm the director of Merlin Archery, and I'm the main designer behind the mybo compound bow range. And it may not be a secret anymore, but I've been really looking forward to this announcement with welcoming Domagoj Buden to our pro staff. Absolutely delighted.
Thanks, Ben.
Domi is a pretty famous archer. I don't know if anybody knows that already, but to have someone like Domi join us on the team, I was so excited when you reached out, and getting to know you over this last few weeks has been a pleasure as well.
It's been a pleasure to be here and to see everything you've built. It's quite astonishing.
Oh, thank you, thanks. Well, hopefully you're going to even see more of these over the coming years. We really want to start expanding the brand out, making it a bit more known, and I'm looking forward to the future developments that we have.
Yeah, that's what attracted me to this whole project, is getting this brand to be known in the world and being here from the start of this project.
Yeah, and I was delighted when you reached out, and the timing couldn't have been better, because I've been wanting to reach out further through Europe for a little while, and it's as if the momentum that we have that's been building over the recent years with mybo is naturally pushing us forward. And to have someone like you on board is really going to help us spread the word.
I'm excited for it, and it's quite a big thing for a European archer like myself to be representing European brand. I'm quite proud of that right now.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have more and more archers come on board soon as well.
Hopefully.
So I think people might be interested. What was it that attracted you to our brand in the first place?
Well, as I said, I saw an opportunity to be a part of something bigger, some bigger project where we can put mybo on the map and build a mybo image in the whole world, firstly Europe and the whole world, and put it where it belongs.
That's what we've been trying to do for quite a time, and we're pretty well known in the UK, but there is still work to be done in Europe. I don't know if people know who mybo is necessarily, but mybo has been a part of Merlin Archery for about 10 years now, and the legacy of Merlin, the Merlin compound bow manufacturers, dates back to the 70s. In fact, I don't know whether you can maybe see the bow behind me. That was the very first Merlin compound bow designed by my father in 1975. So ever since 1975, we've been developing compound bows. It's a passion of mine, and so I want to share with other people. And I think with your expertise with testing and shooting, it's going to help us develop better products going forward as well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited for firstly European people to figure out that, like, by my opinion, European products in general, like European cars, European just everything, is done and refined to a very fine detail. And I feel like when people figure out to what detail this bow has been refined to, I think they're gonna jump on the opportunity right away.
I hope so, and it has been working for us very well. When people visit our shop and test our bows, they exceed their expectations, which makes me think, I wonder what their expectations might have been to begin with. Because to have, well, you've even looked around the shop, it's been good to show you around today, everything that we do. We always want to exceed expectations, and we put everything into our bow designs. I'm quite an OCD person as well when it comes to design, and I shoot as well. So I'm a naturally fussy person, and I want things to be just perfect, if perfect is even attainable. I mean, I don't think I've ever been satisfied with something we've done.
Well, chasing that perfection, though.
Always, but that's part of the fun of it, isn't it? Always trying to do better, make better things, and that's part of the enjoyment of actually designing compound bows.
I think that's part of the enjoyment that we have as archers as well. We're constantly chasing that eluded perfection.
Yeah. You can never achieve it, but it's the journey, it's the effort of trying to do it that's quite satisfying. So I've always had a passion for compound bows, and I would just love to be able to see more of our bows out there through Europe. And I'm very excited for the future.
I think it's going to change within the next couple of years.
I think so too. Would you mind telling everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm 26 years old. Might look a bit older than I actually am, but yeah, 26 years old. Have been doing archery for a very, very long time. I hope you're gonna attach that image I have of my
Yes.
first bow that my dad built for me.
You made a mistake of sending me that image of you being 5 years old.
No, come
So,
on,
Jim,
my form is perfect.
make sure that photo goes in there. It's actually it was very impressive form for a 5-year-old.
I've been shooting since I've had a bow in my hand since I was 3 years old. So 23 years in archery, but to be honest, the funny reason why I started was not, it wasn't even because of the sport. I started because of my dad and my sister, where they were traveling so much, and I found the appeal in traveling and wanted to travel with them and wanted to travel the world. But when I started archery, I just kind of fell in love with the sport, and that's where we are today. And my dad and my sister have been. I have two sisters, but the middle sister doesn't do archery. So right now for this topic, the older one is more relevant. My dad and my older sister, they've been a huge influence on me. So my sister was world number one back around, I think, 2008, 2010 era. You had a British archer, I think Nikki Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used to shoot with my sister.
Right.
But my dad's also been one of the world's best coaches for 15, 20 years. And honestly, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because he gave me the knowledge, he gave me the drive, he taught me everything I knew, and then I just built on top of that. So yeah, honestly, that was the way I started, and they're the reason why I'm still in it.
Yeah, one thing I was impressed, and I had to bring it up when we started to. We've been meeting over the last few days. Your drive, your motivation, is so clear and obvious. I did even ask the question about whether motivation is something that can be taught or whether it's just from the inside. The influence of your father must have been a tremendous help. Do you think you've inherited the drive and your motivation, or do you think it's something that can be learned? What do you think?
I think so. Depends what drive. The drive for knowledge, I feel like I inherited from him. Both my parents are very hardworking, and my mom, she's an accountant for a company, but she's extremely good at her job.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've got both of their DNA in me. The drive that I have that keeps pushing me every day, I don't know where it's coming from. As I told you today in the car, firstly, I always wanted to make my family extremely proud. And that's been my number one reason why I get up in the morning and do what I do. And then looking down the road, looking at my future, there's nothing I want more than to be the best dad for my kids. And that's just kind of what drives me every day, to be the best version of myself, to be the healthiest version of myself, to be the best athlete I can be, the best person I can be. And yeah, that's just what keeps me going.
And it shows. And that sort of passion, it's going to help. It's going to help us as well. That's what I really liked about you as well. And when you were testing the bow and you were telling me how great it was shooting with very little tune, I was thinking, that makes me feel good as well, because we put a lot of our passion and drive into making the products, and I think we're gonna have a good future together. I think your way of thinking matches mine. We're very logical, aren't we? We always want explanations, and it's not enough for us for someone just to tell us this works or this is good. We need to know why it's good.
Yeah, explain it to me, yeah.
But part of my design process is a need to understand how things work and why something might be better. And I just think that your personality and your way of thinking is going to help us develop better products.
Yeah, and I mean, just the product-wise, what sold me on the bow the most and what made me want to join as well, just on shooting perspective, is how easily I tune the bow And why this is so important for me, and I'm not just trying to say this as a sales pitch, because everyone always says, oh, this bow is the easiest tuning bow ever, just because they are sponsored. But what some people don't know is just how ginormous my draw length is.
Yes.
Like, I've got monkey arms, people.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm on 32.2 draw length. And most products out there, they don't really align with me. And the issues that I might encounter, most people will not. And when I started shooting with the Revolution 40, I didn't encounter any of those issues, which was absolutely refreshing for me. And that was one of the main things why I wanted to join, on top of being a part of the bigger image and the bigger project.
Yeah, because the longer the draw length is, generally the harder it is to tune a bow, because the smaller errors are magnified. Things like cam lean. If your cam lean is a couple of degrees off, the larger the cam becomes, the more that string has tracked off of line. So the quality of the product becomes more sensitive when you have a longer draw length.
Exactly. You have less arrow spines that you can pick through. You have less stabilizers you can pick through.
Yeah.
It's just everything starts being like, you don't have many choices.
No, and you're not even on the longest setting on the module yet, are you?
Yes. I'm looking forward to trying the longest modules.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's probably going to be amazing, honestly.
Yeah. And one of the things with the Revolution is wanted to have a range of cam sizes as well, because as you know, you're probably used to shooting cams then always on the longest setting.
Yes.
And that isn't necessarily the best setting on cams. There can be a sweet spot in cams, especially with cams with rotating modules. Not every draw length setting in a cam that's got a wide range of adjustment is going to feel the same as another setting. And so if you're on either the extreme long end of a cam or the extreme short end of a cam, you could be battling other issues there as well.
Oh, yes.
So knowing that, when we was developing the Revolution cam, with the rotating module, we've got a combination here. So there is different modules for each cam, with each module still being adjustable through rotation for fine adjustment. And the reason that we did that is to prevent that issue of being on the long end or a short end of a cam. When you're rotating a module, it moves out of position and the force draw curve changes, and it doesn't feel like the designer intended. So what we did is we rotating the module, once it starts to move out of alignment, that's where we cut it off, design a new module, put the new module on the cam so you can continue that rotation and it still feels good all the way through.
Yeah, so the draw force curves always feel the same, and the performance is always the same.
Feels good in all of the draw length settings. And we took it a step further as well by having 3 cam sizes, so we didn't over-rotate the cams. It's not difficult to make a large cam rotate 6, 7, 8 inches in draw length, but it's not possible to make that cam shoot good. So
in all of those ranges.
Yeah. So we made, not only did we split the module, we split the cam sizes into 3 cam sizes, and that ensures that the problems that you're experiencing with a long draw length, other archers might have the same problem on the short draw length settings.
Yes.
So we offer 3 axle lengths of bows, 3 cam sizes, multiple modules, 1/4 inch adjustment. I think it's the best range of cams on any bow manufacturer.
And 1/4 inch adjustment is super important for people, so people don't have to put it in the press for some adjustments, and they can just rotate the module a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm very happy with the cams that we're using, and I'm glad you appreciated that on your difficulty with your draw length.
And you know, these bows for some reason have the image of being slower, where I don't really understand that, because coming from a Super X from before to the Revolution 40, and most people will know me as a field shooter or a 3D shooter, sight tapes are very important for me.
Yeah.
And then coming to the Revolution 40, my sight tape from 20 to 60 meters is 4 millimeters shorter.
Yeah.
which means the bow is significantly faster.
They are quick bows, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost wish there was more of a scientific, standardized, independent company that would verify speeds on bows.
Yeah, because I think it's very flexible how it's being
It is very
measured.
flexible. I mean, do you drop a couple of strands just for the measurement, or add some speed buttons on? We don't supply speed buttons as standard on the strings, but you can add them on and increase the speed of the bow another few feet per second if needed. But they're most definitely not slow bows, and I think we're a bit more transparent with the realistic speeds that we're achieving.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Revolution 40 is the one that you're shooting, but the Revolution comes in a 37 length and a 34. The 34 is the newest one, and it's relatively small for a target bow. However, there are a lot of people with short draw lengths as well.
And a lot of kids out there as well.
Yeah. So with the brace height's a little lower on the 34, axle length is smaller, and it drops the draw length down. You can go down to 22.5 inches, and at 22.5 inches it still shoots really good as well. That's the whole point of having these different cams and different bow lengths. So if do you say you're 32 draw length? I think the maximum draw on the 40 is 32.75. We're going from 22.5 to 32.75 inches with confidence that they're all going to shoot good.
Yeah, I think you cover the whole draw length range for everybody. I think you can cover from kids that are 11, 12 years old to absolutely everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what draw weight you offer.
We can do some custom draw weights. We have, on occasion, produced Revolutions less than 30 pounds in draw weight. And this maximum standard really is 65, though the vast majority of archers are shooting the 60-pound bow because there is no, you're not allowed to shoot more than 60 pounds on a bow. So we don't offer a 70 pounds at the moment. Not saying that we couldn't, it's just a choice. We're making target bows, the quick. Maybe, do you think we should be offering 70 pounds? I don't know. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, maybe in the future when we're gonna get more into the 3D market as well.
So what are the other features of the bow is attractive for you?
Okay, so for me also we can go back to my draw length. My draw length, what it does, it causes a lot of strain on the cable guard, which then causes sometimes a very bad arrow flight, very bad cam lean, just very bad torque on the whole system. Where what we have on this bow is we have the lateral limb adjustment, which shifts the limbs this way, left and right. It moves the tips of the limb left and right, which helps you change the position of the string compared to the grip.
Mm-hmm.
Which then for people like with my draw length, when I pull back, I have a little bit of torque, not much, thankfully, because my dad taught me the right form. But when I want to align the string with the wrist, with the stabilizer, all I need to do is put in a couple of twists and it will reduce my torque and the bow is going to be square to the target again with full efficiency towards the front.
Yeah, that's right. And we noticed because we've been making bows a long time and have done all sorts of experiments, and it's not uncommon that you'll see an archer draw a bow back and the stabilizer just goes like that, points to the side. Often it's to the right for a right-handed archer because of the cable guard making the bow pull that. But it's more and more common for people to see stabilizers pointing to the left as well. It's not something that you can design into a bow that's static, that's going to be the same for everyone. So that sort of customization to the individual's needs is how that lateral limb adjustment came about. So if you're one of those archers that draws the bow back and your stabilizer suddenly points to the right by a long way, couple of turns, squares that bow up, so when you're aiming at the target, the bow is pointing forwards. When you shoot the bow, everything feels nice and straight when it points forward.
And another feature that I absolutely love is here on the limb pockets, we have the limb pocket secured into the riser with 2 screws, so from each side. And then plus we have these 2 mini shelves as well, which drives the limb pocket in the same direction when you open up the poundage a bit, which when I notice with some other brands, when you open up the poundage, the bow doesn't behave as stable anymore. Where with our product, I really feel like no matter if you open the bow 5 turns or 1 turn or is fully closed in, the bow felt the same,
Yeah.
which to me was very, very impressive.
Yeah, so the changing of the poundage doesn't affect your tune in any lateral direction because the pockets are still moving nice and straight.
Yes.
Yeah. We have one of the features that we spend a lot of time on that might be taken for granted is the grip on the bow. It's quite a small grip, but we have reliefs for the knuckle on the inside. I think a lot of archers get a callus right there on the thumb bone because it rubs on the underside of the shelf. So we've just relieved that, so there's no unnecessary contact on that knuckle bone. We also have something you've been working on as well, is the different plates. So we currently have a shelf on here, but we have one where you can remove the shelf completely and just add a blanking plate for those that ride up a bit higher. But that's something we were discussing only the other day, wasn't it? That there is some benefit to a physical shelf to aid in consistency in hand position.
Yeah, because I felt like if you leave this part of the finger totally open, it gives the people the possibility to change the hand position a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Where if you block it with a more solid, more closed down shelf, it helps the people repeat the position every single time. Where I felt with archery, it's crucial that shot after shot we repeat the same thing we're doing consecutively.
Yeah. Well, we include both options with all of the bows, the physical shelf plate and the shelf plate that's been removed. But after those experiments that we were doing, it was interesting to see that the value of a shelf plate. Yeah, that was nice to learn from you. That's some of the benefits of working with someone of your caliber, where 99% of the archers would have no noticeable difference, and you think, well, it feels better without the plate or it feels better with the plate, but learning these little things from you just help with future development as well.
Well, because I feel like taking out that 1% more or 2% more out of your equipment is what makes the big difference. You know, on a world level right now, with people shooting extraordinary scores,
Yeah,
I feel like if I gained 1 point across the whole tournament with a different shelf,
yeah,
I've done a lot. Where I feel like 10 years ago, if you gained 1 point across the tournament, you'd be like, whatever. But if I can consistently gain 1 point across my matches or something because of a different shelf or a different grip position, I think I've done a lot.
yeah. And as bows are getting better and better every year, and not just the bows that we produce get better each year, but many of the manufacturers, they're producing phenomenal equipment. The smaller changes become more important, and the shelf we was talking about, but the lateral limb adjuster, for the majority of archers, that feature wouldn't be relevant until you have that feature available to you. It gives you the ability to at least experiment and try. And if it increases your score by 1 or 2 points because your tune is better and the follow through feels nicer, just the feedback feels better, and you're shooting nearer and nearer to maximum, those 1 or 2 points are harder to get.
Yes.
So I think every small benefit, maybe if you take each one individually, you might think, well, that won't make much difference. Or you look at the 1/4 inch adjustment and you think, well, 1/2 inch is fine, it won't make much difference. Or the shape of the grip, that won't make much difference. But you add all of these little things together that 1 point can become 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. That
Yeah, I mean, when
that's
you
what we're
look,
trying to accomplish.
let's say quarter-inch adjustments, they mean that I can be in the right position of the cam, right rotation of the
Yeah.
cam, without over-rotating the cam, whatever direction I would need to go with the half-inch adjustments. Then we have the modules that are overlapping, how you said.
Yeah.
So we keep the draw force curve the same. That's already a couple more points. Then we have the lateral adjustment,
Yeah.
which by my opinion brings quite a few points. I don't think that's minor at all. I think that's a significant upgrade. Then we have the locking system pocket to the riser, because a lot of us, I don't really know many people that are totally wound in, and a lot of us will have it just a tiny bit open. And again, that's a point or two there.
Yeah.
I feel like you made so much progress, and a lot of these things, they need credit that they deserve. I feel like you gave me quite a few points with these systems.
That's good. And the let-off adjustment is quite substantial on ours as well. There is a wide range of let-off that you can move incrementally.
From 55 to 80, if I'm not wrong.
That's right, yeah. And each position locks down really solid. We have our axles are ground as well. So to maintain the tolerance, they're large diameter axles, 6 millimeters diameter, ground to a high tolerance. So that not only for dimensional accuracy, but the smoothness of the axle as well is very high quality on that.
And very important thing for me is on the let-off peg. The let-off peg is held on the top and the bottom by the module.
Yeah.
So when you tighten it down, the peg still stays the same. It
Yeah.
doesn't move the angle, where with some other let-off pegs that I've used, when you tighten it, they move, and you can't be certain that the top and bottom peg will be in the same angle.
Yeah, there's no question. There's only one position for that in each setting, and it can't move up, down, backwards and forwards. It always locks down in the same. Another change that we've made recently is the use of Cerakote for the cosmetics, because we can all look at all these technical improvements, but at the end of the day, we want it to look nice as well. You got to feel good holding the bow, and if you were buying a car, I think we all admit we've got to get the colour that you want, or
Yes.
things have got to look good.
And
Feel good, feel good, shoot good.
And
That-
this
yeah.
titanium definitely looks good and feels
Yeah.
good for me.
So how many couple of points is that worth with a titanium?
Well, with the confidence, I think at least 5.
5 points per colour. Yeah. You didn't like some of the colours so much though, did you?
I'm not the biggest fan of the neon colors,
No.
but
Are they negative 5 points?
not for everybody. Some people will love the neon colors, but I'm more of a traditional person where I like the let's say this gives me like a luxury feel, a very premium feel, and I love how this looks.
I know some people that would say the neons are worth 10 points.
Like your son, right?
In fact, I don't know what's wrong with him. Every part of his bow is a different colour. He has to have a different colour arrow rest that clashes with the riser, and when he was shooting recurve, he made a point of one side rod was one colour, one was the other colour, and the long rod was a third colour.
You're sure he's not colorblind, right?
I hadn't thought of that. I don't know whether he's assisting sales in the shop or turning people away with colour combinations.
And also, by my opinion, when something you told me, I hope I'm allowed to share this, if not, whatever, but when a company that produces the Cerakote, they bought one of your bows just to use it as something to show on the shows.
They did
As
actually,
promotion.
Cerakote UK, and I want to give a shout out to my brother Aaron, because we're going to be talking about these lovely Cerakote finishes that we do in house. We do them ourselves, but it's my brother Aaron that has been trained on it and doing such a great job of it. He got sent an email from Cerakote, and I was really proud, and he gave him a smile as well, saying it was the best technical application that they've seen ever, and they bought a Revolution, and they're going to be using it on their UK booths that makes us feel a
I
bit
think
proud.
I was about to say that's something
just
to be very
nice.
proud of.
Yes. So we have 19 colours that we went a bit crazy. So, well, I think Cerakote offer like 200 colours. It's something ridiculous.
Well, that's something to improve on then for next time. 19 is a very low number then.
I think Aaron would no longer have a smile on his face if we were telling him we were going to do 100 colours. But I do feel there is a move more towards custom options for people. Even with the limbs, we do in between weights. Not very often. I mean, obviously, the £60, 50, and 40 suits most people. But if you wanted a £55 bow, we can do that. The colours of the bows, it is important. I mean, we make jokes about it, but I want the stuff to look good.
Yes.
And having such a colour range should satisfy everybody. But moving more custom with limb weights, maybe even coloured strings and cables, custom colours on the risers, I feel that's going to be a direction we're heading. More colours, not less.
I think customers will love that.
And the other advantage we have is because we do it ourselves, it doesn't actually extend the delivery time very much. I know sometimes custom options can be months, but we do it ourselves in-house. So the part of the production process is we machine all the risers, we tumble them, we blast them, and then they're all kept in a pristine condition until we decide to do the Cerakoting. But we don't have to do high quantities of Cerakote in one go. Anodizing, you always had to have a minimum batch run to make it worthwhile. But if we chose to, we could do a single crazy pink colour, and it's not that much slower. It's only marginally more expensive because of the time it takes to spray one riser in a Cerakote pink. We could probably do 3 at the same time. But it's negligible. We're only talking, I think, for a custom colours at the moment, it's £50 extra on a Revolution.
It's very affordable.
Might be less than that even. If you think a neon colour is worth 10 points, it might be worth 50 quid.
I agree. But I think, as you said, that's the big benefit of doing a lot of things, most things that you have in-house.
Yeah, we try to do as much as possible in-house. We machine the cams in-house. All of the rockers are machined in-house, the pockets, the risers. We do a portion of the limb in-house. We use Gordon limbs, so I think that's an industry standard. If you want the best limbs on your bow, you go to Gordon and you use theirs materials. That's what we're doing. We finish the limbs in-house. We use... I'm also of the thinking as well that if other companies can do something better than you, meaning subcontractors, then I would rather have the best component produced by a third party if what they can do is better than what we can do. So an example of that is the grinding of the axles. We subcontract the grinding of the axles out. It's worth me doing that. We could probably set up to grind axles, but I don't see the advantage in doing it. Have a specialist company grind your axles. Bearings for cams. We're starting to phase in now through the product line a Japanese bearing. We're investing in the best parts. We don't make the strings and cables in-house. They're made by Rainbow Strings, so they can make better strings and cables than we can make strings and cables. But the things that we're good at, we would do in-house, and I think being able to accept that sometimes other people can make a component to a better quality, it adds to the overall quality of the bow. I'm not so proud to admit that we need to make the axles in-house. We'll make the best ones.
I think you make enough amazing stuff in-house.
Yeah, it's well, thank you. What can I say? Thanks. It was nice to show you around, actually.
Yeah, going around the facilities that you showed me yesterday honestly, it was astonishing. I'm not even sure I've seen a shop like this, an archery shop like this, anywhere in the US. I'm sure they have crazy shops, but the ones I've been in, they haven't been this loaded and this impressive.
Oh, thank you. I did really want the wow factor when we moved here, because I think there's been a trend that still continuing of shops not willing to invest in stock or reducing their stock levels for financial reasons. I mean, it's not an easy market. If people think selling archery equipment's easy, well, good luck. But everything was starting to move online, too much so, and the value of being able to come to an archery shop and handle equipment and draw a compound bow back and test it and have a technician set it up for you. We talk about all these little features that make 1% difference. If you don't know how to use it, you're not going to get the advantage for it. And even worse, a badly set up bow,
You'll get a disadvantage.
you get a disadvantage, and it might put you off a brand. And it doesn't matter what brand, it'll put you off if it's not been set up correctly, because you think, well, this isn't shooting as good as that one. And they're making decisions based on wrong information. So when we wanted to open this shop here in Burton-on-Trent, we wanted to just go to the all in, go the maximum what should be the standard for archery shops, and that's what we've achieved. I'm so happy to walk around there with you, and when you come in through the door and you stop and you look round, and we've exceeded your expectation. Like when people try these bows, we exceed their expectation, whether they've got preconceived ideas or they're completely open-minded. They come in and try them, and they're blown away by it. Same effect when you walk into the shop. I want people to walk around. We've not actually counted them, but we must have a couple of hundred compound bows on display. I bet we've got hundreds of recurves on display, a couple of hundred traditional bows. So we wanted to make sure these sorts of places still existed, that you can come with confidence that you're going to come with so much choice, with great people. Some of our technicians are the best in the country. You'll come here and you'll be set up so well. That in itself is worth the time just to come.
And having a full in the range for hire, and then having the bows, the targets in the back.
Yeah, we've got a little
to tune the
range.
bows.
Yeah, paper tuning, bow presses, full 18-meter range. It's a nice environment. Yeah,
It's nice to be in.
yeah. I want to just ask you a little bit more about your accomplishments, because someone of your caliber reaching out to come and shoot our bows, wanting to work with us, makes me feel good. But just in case anybody hasn't quite heard of you.
Yeah, so I mean, as I said, I started a long time ago. So I've gone through all the categories. I've gone through the under 12, under 14s, and then the cadet and junior categories in World Archery. I think my first biggest accomplishment was the World Cadet Championship in 2013, which I won.
How old were you there?
Was I 16? That was the, let's say, my first biggest accomplishment. There were multiple junior cup wins and all of that stuff, but the world championship is still a world championship. Then 6 months after that, I won the European junior championship. So I was the world and the European champion at like the same time. And then I think I can go to the senior side. I've had a lot of junior medals then, but that's my finest. In 2015, I went to the European Field Championship as a senior.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my, I think, successful field career started. I've gotten bronze there. I was beaten by one of your own from Britain. I was beaten by Duncan Busby in the semi-final.
Well done, Duncan.
Yeah, I was first in the ranking round, first in everything, but then I wasn't first when we shot the semi-final match. Got bronze there, and then for 3 championships in a row, which is 6 years, I was unbeaten in the gold final. So I won 3 European senior championships in a row, and got silver now. So I got bronze, gold, silver on 5 championships in a row. Those are all incredible, but the biggest accomplishment of my career, the main trophy for me, is the win in Reading. It's the biggest outdoor competition in the world. I don't even know how many people are in our category, and the category is so competitive. It's incredible. I mean, just this year, I think Mike Schlosser got second place with dropping 2 points the whole weekend. I got first place with dropping 2 points the whole weekend, but different years. And Reading is something I feel like European Championships and Reading is something I feel like built my career, put me on the map in USA, put me on the map in Europe. And plus, we can't forget about the Pro Series. I forgot about the Pro Series. It's been too long since I've shot them. A lot of the southern hemisphere followed the Pro Series. So my success on those shoots and my sister's success, where we've had the wins and the podiums and everything, really put us on the map in the world.
Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah, really, really good. Impressive.
Thank you.
So, what colour are you going to go for next?
I think people are going to have to keep up with my social media and see that.
Okay.
We got to keep it a secret.
Shall we get Ethan's input into this?
Probably not.
No.
That's a wise move, I think.
Yeah, I think that one of our long-time shooter and friend, Adam Ravenscroft, is sort of leaning more Ethan's point of view, and he's got maybe not the best colour combination with cams. I think we might have to ban him from...
I feel like I need sunglasses to look at his bows.
Yeah. So we'll put Adam and Ethan in a box somewhere, and that they can discuss colours, and then we'll probably look at more classy titaniums, blacks, and
Oh yes.
yeah, we'll do that. Honestly, it's been really good to get to know you recently.
Likewise.
I'm so excited. I've got a renewed motivation. Actually, your own motivation and drive, it rubs off onto other people as well. So I'm inspired to keep improving, and I'm so looking forward to what the future developments might be for us.
Yeah, so am I. I'm excited to see where we can take this team and where we can take the brand.
Yeah, can't wait. Thanks for watching. Take care, shoot straight, and I'll see you on the internet.
Take care, guys, and stay in the gym.
You can't use that. I'll let you.